This is Module 6 on Gender and Education. In the past, society considered schooling more necessary for men than for women. Men who worked outside the home and women who worked in the home. But times have changed. So the coverage for this module would be access and equity to education, out of school learners, and illiteracy rates. But before going into that, let's have a quick review on education. It's from the Latin word "educere", to guide, to light. As a definition, let's take this. um, a consciously controlled process whereby changes in behavior are produced in the person and through the person in the group. A consciously controlled process, um, as a phrase, because the government planned the following for its citizens: age of entry to the formal educational system, the number of years in elementary, in high school, and the college curricula, the subjects that Filipinos need to learn and master at each level or curriculum. All these are tasked by the government to its agency, DepEd, for the basic primary, secondary education. And we have the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, for the collegiate level, the graduate levels. So these are all consciously controlled process. The changes in behavior. What's this all about? According to Dr. Leo Buscaglia, he has a PhD, or Doctor of Philosophy degree, and is an author of the book entitled Living, Loving, and Learning. He stated that, and this is very much relevance to the changes in behavior. Most of the stupid people I met have PhDs. Most of the educated people I met don't even know what PhD means. So, you may have your PhD, but you may be stupid still. And you may not have, or you may not even know what PhD actually is. But you can be considered educated, okay, through the person in the group. According to Robert Fulghum, and this has very much relation to the changes in behavior, and that's mentioned by Dr. Buscaglia. Fulghum wrote a book entitled All I Really Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. And these are those. Just three. I picked three, which I really, really like. First, put things back where you found them. Clean up your own mess. Say sorry when you hurt somebody. And you don't need a PhD to do those things. Now, educational structures, there is the so-called informal, what one learns from life itself. The world is so wide and so big. We learn a lot from the world. Formal, learning in the classroom, inside of four corners of the classroom. Now, socialized versus subsidized education. What's the difference? Socialized, the government finances the educational costs of the student, like in MSU. Subsidized, on the other hand, it depends on the parents' income, and students are categorized by brackets, like in UP. But that's already a done deal, because as per President Duterte, um, UP is also has a free tuition fees, unlike in the previous years. So let's now go to the first subtopic, access and equity to education. Primary education provides the foundation for a lifetime of learning. Now, the Beijing Platform for Action, adopted in 1995, has this: providing universal access to and ensuring the completion of primary education for all girls and boys. That's just primary even. In 1995 onwards, there was considerable progress in achieving universal primary education and closing the gender gap in enrollment. This is worldwide, okay? Now, gender parity index from zero point 0.9 to 1, there is gender parity, meaning there is more or less equal number of males and females in a certain something. Oh, this is about education. So, on education. Below zero point 0.9, there is no gender parity. Okay, so here, more than two-thirds countries have reached gender parity. Look at these blue-colored countries here. Zero point 0.9 to 1 over 1, actually. And that is in terms of enrollment in primary education. No parity countries yet. In Africa, the Middle East, and South Asia, girls are more likely to be disadvantaged than boys. In Chad and Pakistan, for example, so Chad, that is in Africa, and then Pakistan in Asia, the GPI value is 0.78 and 0.84. That would mean 78 girls in Chad and 84 girls in Pakistan are enrolled in primary school for every 100 boys. So there are lesser girls than boys. In a study in the Philippines, this data tell that for every 41 grade 1, okay, for every 100 grade 1, 41 will reach fourth year high school. 11 will enroll in first year college, 5 will graduate in college, and 1 will have the work that fits to the degree. In the Philippines, in this data on primary school attendance of 6 to 11 years old, there are 94% girls, 93% boys uh, in the primary school. And this graph here is for the secondary school, children 12 to 17 years old. As you can see, there are still more girls than boys who attended school. And the more for those who are in the for economic uh, spectrum, those who have better economic uh, status. Gender disparities disadvantaging girls in primary education persist in Africa, the Middle East, and South Asia. Look at this in red. That's 89.89 below and zero point 0.9 in these countries. And these are the Africa, Middle East, and South Asia. Let's go to out-of-school learners. Considerable progress has been made in reducing the number of out-of-school girls of primary school age. But still, there's 5.5 million more out-of-school girls than boys worldwide. Between 2000 and 2018, the number of out-of-school girls of primary school age decreased globally. So girls from 57 million to 32 million. At least there is a reduction of 47%. Boys from 42 million to 27 million. There's a reduction of 37% out of school learners. In this graph, out of school population among children of primary school age 2000 to 2018. As you can see, these are for the boys, the blue, and these are for the girls. You notice that from 2007, it seems to have a stagnant. There's no movement in the number of girls and in the number of boys who go to school, primary school. Global progress in reducing the number of out-of-school children at the primary level has stagnated for both girls and boys since 2007. The out-of-school rate among children of primary school age by sex 2018 in the world. Look at this for the girls, orange; for the boys, blue. These are the out-of-school. So there are really more girls who are not in school in sub-Saharan Africa and in South Asia of the world. Nearly 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 5 boys of primary school age are out of school in these areas. Now let's go to the third subtopic, illiteracy rates. Global youth literacy rates have increased since 2000, yet gender disparities persist. Females still have an estimated of 56% of the illiterate youth population today from the UNICEF this year data. From 2000 to 2018, look at this graph, the blue here for the boys and orange here for the girls. So it's very clear that indeed there are more females who are um, illiterate than the boys. In about two-thirds of countries, youth literacy is equal to that of the young men and women literacy. Gender parity index, how many females are there for every 100 males? In West and Central Africa, there's 0.85. That translates to 85 girls for every 100 boys. Chad, 0.55 GPI, or 55 literate women for every 100 literate men. So it's almost half actually. Uh, so this is the map where the Chad is. It has the lowest so far literacy gender parity index. In the Philippines, youth literacy rate between 15 to 24 years old gender parity index from 2012 to 2018. So see, in the Philippines for the data on 2015, there is 1 GPI, which means that there is more or less equal number of girls and boys in school.